Friendships never go out of style.
Oh, you're the best friend anybody's ever had, and it's funny, but I feel as if I've known you all this time, but I couldn't have, could I? If you're not over here, in 15 minutes, you can find a new best friend. Welcome to the Best Friends Playbook podcast.
With your hosts, Crystal
and Aly.
We've known each other for over 27 years, and we're here to share our wisdom on friendships in film, TV, and literature.
Grab some coffee, our favorite, and get cozy. All right, we are rolling.
Hello.
Surprisingly, normally after 2 cups of coffee, I feel like I'm burnt out, but I want more.
We have more.
We do?
Yes, right there. I don't know if you'll appreciate this, but I made my own almond milk.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Carmichael's done it twice, and he's like, "Oh, I want to keep doing it," and then he stops because it's a lot
fun.
of work.
I don't know.
It's like the draining part to get the pulp out.
That part's a pain in the ass. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I've done it twice now, and the first time because I have a vitamix, and the thingy says that you don't have to do that. You can just blend in your vitamix and then drink it. So I did that, and it was very grainy and funky.
You're on a whole nother level for me. I really need a vitamix in my life because
you do.
Because I know you said you were trying to make your smoothie bowl, and then sometimes my greens just don't blend, so I'm eating my smoothie.
What kind of blender do you have?
We got a Ninja.
That's a good one, isn't it?
No,
aren't those nice?
We spent $100 on it, and it's not
yeah.
it's for if you want 2 ingredients in your smoothie. You can't have an actual green smoothie.
Yeah, Vitamixes are $250 or something.
Yeah,
I mean, I got it as a Christmas
present. They're so worth it though.
But it's fucking amazing, and it's self-cleaning. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, I didn't really understand what that meant, but so you mix your shit and then you kind of rinse it out, put some soap and some water in it, and then you put it back on the blender and blend it, and it fucking washes it itself. It's pretty amazing.
That's amazing. Carmichael actually needs that because he makes more smoothies than I do, and the frustration I see on his face every day to clean the smoothie container or the blender container, it's a lot.
I have an old blender if you want it. We still have it's nothing special. It's an Oster, but it lasted for years and it blended all my smoothies perfectly fine.
Maybe it'll because it looks
shake it around a little.
Come on, do your job.
Yes. Fuck you.
I hope everyone's doing well today. This is our 2nd season, so at this point, you guys are just gonna hang out with us. And
I didn't really realize we were recording that.
Oh no, I think it's fine. Everyone wants to hear about our smoothie life.
So you don't want coffee?
I do.
Okay.
Do you want to entertain them while I grab it?
You're gonna okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm exiting the room.
Okay, you guys, let's talk about how fucking hungover I am today. It is the worst, and it really sucks just because I didn't even mean for it to happen. I only had a drink an hour, but 5 hours in, and I mixed I only mixed 2 or 3 different types of alcohol. But anyways, I woke up this morning and it was fucking terrible. And so, in the fridge.
In this little crowd?
Yeah, shake it up and then.
It's not cream up.
It's not it's not, there's no added sweeteners. So don't put too much because it doesn't taste that great. Oh yeah, so that one I did strain in the cheesecloth, which was quite the experience.
Yes.
It feels like you're milking a balloon.
100%.
It's weird. Anyways, so today words are really hard and I had to eat mac and cheese, leftover mac and cheese for breakfast to try and soak up the remainder of the issues in my stomach. And then I went to this nice coffee place and the barista fucked up my order. So I asked for a 20-ounce latte with 3 shots of espresso and I got a fucking 12-ounce. So all I taste is espresso, but it's fine, whatever. At least words are coming out of my mouth now, so.
Yeah, she looked scared when she was taking her order. She was like, is this to go or for here? And I'm like, we're just
Can't
ordering.
you see the fucking to-go cup that she just handed you?
And we're just making coffee, honey. It's going to be okay.
Calm down.
Right?
I think it's because there's somebody behind us, probably.
Oh, yes. Lines are terrifying.
They really.
Terrifying.
I don't know. I mean, she looked like she was maybe in high school, and I can attest that, when I was a young person at a job, if there was a line.
A young boy. What does it say? When I was a young boy lad.
When I was a young warthog. Are you
not
Lion King?
Yeah, but some reason I thought it was a lad because when I was a young warthog.
Yeah. Lines used to scare the shit out of me when I was a young warthog. And yeah, so I guess I can forgive her.
Yeah, we've all
At least
been.
she didn't charge me for the 20 ounce.
It's true.
That bitch. Just kidding.
Yeah, your almond milk tastes pretty good.
Thanks. I I don't know how I feel because like I wanted to be able to use it in other things like oatmeal and stuff, but because I refuse to put any sweeteners in it, it's like I honestly just put it in my coffee every day. So
Yeah, I think
happy
most
with it.
people do like honey or
I saw one that had you put 2 pitted dates in it, which I have dates. I eat them every day.
yeah, dates works well too.
But like I said, I only put it in my coffee, and for me in the mornings when I'm being healthy, I do a little bit of almond milk and some like butter to be the, bulletproof whatever coffee or like coconut oil to make it quote unquote bulletproof and make me last through my intermittent fasting. And then when I'm not being healthy, I just put in like the almond milk and then some turmeric, cinnamon, and pumpkin spice. And so like I don't need a sweetener, so I didn't want to like sweeten it and make it weird tasting.
Which is totally fair. And plus, like, as a vegan, most of the time I just, like, take whatever, like, plant milk I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
So even if it's just, like, a little bit, it doesn't have to be sweet anymore for me. I've pretty much adjusted.
I don't know.
Or sometimes I drink it black, so that's my only option.
Yeah, I didn't understand the cheesecloth situation until I got, like, deep into the trying to milk it, and it was bad. I had to double up. It was like getting everywhere because I was trying to funnel it into the thingy right away because I don't have a big enough bowl. And anyways, after Googling it a bunch, I think I'm just going to invest in one of those nut bags, which is the best fucking word ever, by the way. Like,
Nut bag.
Nut bags. I'm going to get one. And I learned, do you know what I'm talking about? You know the nut bags?
Oh, yeah. Vegan.
I'm going to get one, turn it inside out, and milk my almonds that way because apparently that's the good way to do it, I learned.
Yeah.
Because the seam. Did you learn about that? Yeah. It's like you have to turn it inside out so that all the shit doesn't get in the seam. And
Yeah.
So I'm
I've watched like...
I'm going to go buy one. I don't know where. Where do you get them?
I think we got ours like on Amazon.
Yeah. I figured that's what I would do.
Yeah, we've watched like a plethora of videos, but Carmichael's usually the one that likes to do all the crazy experiments.
Yeah. It was one of those things where I had I've kind of always wanted to make different types of milk alternatives, but I've never had the right equipment for it. So as soon as I got the Vitamix and I saw that it's like literally the first recipe when you open up the little book, I was like, fuck yeah, we're doing this. So
yeah, oat milk's really easy too. You just take oatmeal and water.
Oatmeal? Like you make oatmeal?
Yeah, like oatmeal grains.
Just the oats.
Yeah, the oats.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
like, so you're gonna milk some oatmeal?
You gotta make the oats and then water and then you can put like vanilla in it if you want.
Yeah, maybe I'll branch out. I don't know. It's the only one in my Vitamix thingy, so that's why I tried it.
Oh, that's fair.
And it's quite disgusting when you see the almonds when they're being soaked. I was talking to somebody about it last night, and I was like, when you soak it, it's gonna look like your almonds are oozing white crap. It's just like, and they go, so then do you blend that white crap? I was like, no, you rinse it first.
Oh, you rinse the pus. Yeah.
It's so gross. I don't know what that shit is, but it's nasty.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome to our...
Sorry.
No, it's fine. This is like our typical Saturday mornings, everyone. Me and Crystal, we recover from whatever we did the night before. And we're like, all right.
Last night was Shabbat. So that's why I'm fucking hungover, but... Thanks, Steve and Makita. You're the best.
You guys like to drink?
Yeah, they just always have good food and alcohol there. So
that's amazing. Yeah, I mostly just had work during the day. Came home exhausted from that. Had leftover ramen, and then forced myself to work out while I finished watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is what we're recording today.
Cliff and Rick, right? Cliff and Rick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rick Dalton. And Cliff Booth.
Oh, that's right. So
I think that's
you're
why
good. I didn't even put their last names.
Oh, I 100% looked on the train before I came over because I couldn't remember Cliff's last name.
I 100% when I was watching this and taking notes, the first half of my notes say Brad and Leo because I couldn't, like they hadn't said like Cliff's name in the very like the first half of the movie. I was like, what the fuck is this fucker's name? Yeah.
And I'm very fascinated by it because I know it's like the 50s, but like Leo has like this weird sort of like Southern accent, but he lives in California.
60s. It's the 60s.
60s, but he lives in California.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Wait, who? Rick or Cliff?
Rick.
What'd you say? Yeah, I don't know. They never really talk about his backstory, huh? So,
No, so maybe he did come from like
yeah.
maybe he was an implant because I think Cliff had to
everybody
be
in LA
also.
is really. So.
Yeah.
Like 98% of them are. Mm-hmm. Actually, probably more like 99.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I are implants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Words. What are they?
What the fuck is that? I just had it in my head. What's the director's name?
Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino, yes. I fucking love Quentin Tarantino. He is, a cinematic hero for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And I love his movies. And
how was your Quentin cherry popped? Which movie was it?
Jeez. Well, see, I can't really answer that question well because I had seen Pulp Fiction years ago, probably in a film class actually. Okay. And then I'd seen Kill Bill when it came out originally. And what's the other one? There's another one.
Inglourious Bastards?
No, that was later. That's what I was going to say is that one is probably the one that got me really hooked into Quentin,
Yeah, that's
that was.
I feel like it's his most mainstream one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, did you do did you go to his dual showing of Grindhouse and Death Proof?
No, that's actually one I've never seen was the Grindhouse.
I liked them a lot. Jackie Brown?
I've never seen Jackie Brown either.
Reservoir Dogs?
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
Me and Jay, yeah, okay.
It.
I would say that Jay probably got me into it with Reservoir Dogs when we first started dating because we're both huge Tarantino fans. Mm-hmm. So but when Inglourious Bastards came out is when I really enjoyed it. And that one and Django Unchained.
Oh, yeah.
Have been my two, Bastards is my favorite. Django is Jason's favorite. But then this one came out, and this is definitely my new favorite because Brad and Leo are the duo that I didn't know I needed in my life. And they're just so fucking funny that I just love it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And because it's about Hollywood and we're obviously really into movies and Hollywood. That time period is just so entertaining for so many reasons. So, yeah.
Okay, tell me why on Quentin's IMDb he has an upcoming project called Bounty Law.
Really?
Yeah, remember that was the show that Leo was in?
Yeah.
In the movie?
That's weird. I don't know because Quentin's always made it very clear that he was going to stop at 10. So I'm getting really antsy because this was 9,
He's addicted. He's never going to stop.
I hope it's all just fucking lies because, and did you see A Hateful Eight?
Yes, I love Hateful Eight. It is so
See, I'm the opposite.
long though.
See, I have so many issues with Hateful Eight. I liked it. Cinematically, it was beautiful and it was artistic and different because everything took place in the carriage and then that one room, But overall, I walked away and it was a movie that I never wanted to watch again. That's because the ending. It was so gory and like I said, it was like you said, it's very long and I don't know.
That's essentially what he wanted. He wanted it
was a play.
Yeah, he wanted it to
like a play.
Feel like a play. He wanted it to be a classic Western.
Yeah.
And I will say though that the monologues in it are probably some of the most beautiful monologues I've ever heard written in cinema, and the way that they're delivered and performed. I would just rewatch for those monologues. But yeah, it's really long. I would probably rewatch Django over it, but Django also feels
I love Django.
I love it, but it's very heavy. So I'd have a hard time getting back into it.
I'd say if I could say one thing about Django and Inglourious Bastards, and Hateful Eight, whatever. One thing about Quentin Tarantino that I really love is that he is not afraid to put the most awkward and intense scenes in a movie and make you watch them. So in Django, in Hateful Eight, in Inglourious Bastards, there's these fucking terrible scenes that you don't want to watch, but they are so good that you can't stop watching, So they make you uncomfortable, but that's what he wants.
Yeah, and I feel because, you have to tell the stories that are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs was how I got my introduction into Quentin, and I loved Reservoir Dogs. I was
that's a damn good one.
Obsessed with it.
We have that one here.
I haven't seen Jackie Brown.
Me neither.
I saw the Kill Bills when Carmichael and I started dating, and Like, I like them, but I'm not obsessed like the rest of the fan base is.
No, I'm not either.
And like, I think they're...
I love a good female lead.
Yeah, I think they're really cool, but for some reason the story just doesn't draw me in.
Yeah.
I really love... I prefer Grindhouse over Death Proof, but I know that the director he worked with, Robert Rodriguez, had more of like a hand in directing that. I think it's just because it's more horror-esque versus Death Proof was like a thriller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, again, Inglourious Basterds like really nailed it on the head for me also.
It did, because honestly for me, Christoph Waltz, man, fuck.
Yeah, he really
Such
like
a good character. And in Django.
Yeah.
Such a good character.
He really like stepped into Hollywood at that point. Even though he'd been acting forever, he just wasn't
Yeah.
recognized by the US.
I was thinking about that last night because I was up and awake, not sleeping.
The things that Crystal thinks about after midnight will
You would be so shocked at what I think about. But yeah, I was like, what? You know, I was like going through Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I was like, it's a great movie, but like something's missing. And then I was like, it's fucking Christoph Waltz. He wasn't in that movie, and I just love him in Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yeah, but I'm okay that he wasn't in it. Like, I was really happy that we got Kurt Russell.
Yes, because I love
him.
I do love Kurt Russell.
Which was one thing I was super excited about, was that he was in The Hateful Eight. I freaked the fuck out. I'm a big fan, but I can't remember the name. The Thing. The 80s horror film, The Thing.
Was Kurt Russell in that?
Yes. He was one of the main characters.
I'll really embarrass myself. I love Kurt Russell from Overboard with Goldie Hawn. That was like huge flop, but I fucking love that movie. I grew up on that movie.
A flop in my book because that's where they met and they have been together ever since.
And I used to, my parents vacation in Fort Bragg like every year, and I grew up like vacationing in Fort Bragg, and I'd be like, this is where they shot Overboard.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Who else did we get that was like a fun cameo? I can't remember. I was just watching it last night and I was like, oh yeah, they're in this and blah, blah, blah. But
did you figure out where Quentin is in this one?
Yes. So, because when Carmichael and he started watching it with me on Tuesday, he's in like when Al Pacino's watching one of Leo's old movies.
Really?
Yeah. So Al Pacino is, he's in like, it's when he sits down to have dinner with Leo in like one of the first scenes. Mm-hmm. And he's describing his evening. Like he lit up his cigar and he had like and then it shows the screen that he's watching in his home, and Quentin is in one of the shots.
Really? Because I had watched this movie multiple times and I still couldn't figure out, so I finally Googled it. And what Google told me was that at the very end, when they are shooting the commercial, it's just Quentin's voice, that there is no cameo of him. So now I got to watch what you're saying and see, because I mean, I didn't scroll through and read a bunch. I read like one or two and that's what it said. And then I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, that is clearly his voice. But
you don't notice it. Like when we first watched it, obviously we saw it in the theaters, so we didn't notice. But when we were sitting down watching it like on our small iPad, we like paused and rewound it and paused again. Like it's 100% him, because majority of like these old Westerns that Quentin shows, he either shot little snippets or he like, I don't know what the technique is called, but he like somehow put Leo, like he green screened Leo on the other side talking in the original film.
Yeah.
So I think one of...
Like for The Great Escape, they did that, right?
Yeah. I love these two characters and I'm really happy like that. Like it makes me really sad every time I watch this movie, because I wish that like Sharon Tate was still alive and she got to live her life. And so I kind of like a lot of people are upset and they feel like, oh, she didn't get enough screen time and blah, blah, blah. And it's like the whole film is a love story to her, so that way she could live on in cinema.
Yeah. And I feel like what I appreciated out of this movie regarding Sharon Tate is that they didn't make her out to be the superstar that she kind of is now looking back, because of how she got murdered, right? But like she was always a B movie star. Like she was not a Margot Robbie of her generation, right? So I like that they that Quentin kind of showed it that way. Like she wasn't super popular. She went to see her own movies and like they were like, oh, that's you? Oh, blah, blah, blah. So, you know.
Yeah.
And by the way, what I really loved about watching this movie in theaters was
the 75
the way
millimeter.
no, No, actually, the way they marketed it, it looks like it's going to be about the murders, right? And this is like a spoiler, I guess. But so the whole time you're watching it in theaters, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to see this. It's getting closer. They're like walking up the driveway. They're going to murder somebody, right? And then the way he just like took a right turn and just like didn't even do that at all. And like they try and murder Cliff and Rick or whatever.
Yeah, because she doesn't.
It was awesome.
Yeah, she doesn't actually have neighbors in real life. It was just her house on that hill.
Was it? See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so on Celia Drive, it was just her house. She had no surrounding neighbors, which is why, like, when everyone was screaming bloody murder,
nobody could hear.
Nobody could hear, which is really upsetting. So that's why, I love that it really is a love letter to Sharon, and we have to spend all this time with Rick and Cliff to have the ending scene earned.
Yeah.
It has to be earned. We have to understand why these people are the way they are. And it's funny because the first time that we see Rick go into his shed by the pool, the camera tilts down onto the flame.
Does it?
Yeah, the fire
I didn't
thing.
pick up on that. The flamethrower?
We noticed it the second time around.
That's so fun. Well, I've seen it like 3 times now, and I didn't notice.
And that's why, me and Carmichael are always, so big, because I'm an actor, and sometimes when I do, student films, bless their heart, they either want to rush through the shots or they don't plan it, and it's this is why you plan, because then you can have fucking callbacks to stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Quentin does a very good job with that kind of stuff.
But we are here to talk about Rick and Cliff, but we obviously love Quentin and what he does, so.
Yeah. But, okay, so in real life, Brad just won the Oscar for this movie.
So fucking happy. He also won for the SAG Awards, and I was really excited that I got to vote for him in the SAG Awards this year.
Yeah, I was really happy that he got it. I felt like he deserved it. And I think it's poetic in the sense that it's about 2 aging actors, and that's essentially what they are.
And that's another thing that I love about Quentin, because he calls back a bunch of actors that Hollywood considers too old. Like the one actress that was in The Hateful Eight, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I love her, and she's also on this show on Netflix called Atypical, and she's fucking amazing.
Wait, was she in this movie? I don't understand.
No.
Oh, okay.
But she's an older actress where Hollywood is less likely to hire you because you're not the new hot stuff.
Yeah.
So, and again, he puts Kurt Russell in his movies and everything. So
who had a big break from being a movie star for a while there because he got in that awkward age where he was too old, and now he's back and kicking ass. So
yeah, and then it was also James Gunn who also brought him back into the Guardians of the Galaxy. So
I loved that because he was from Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, so no. So James Gunn is the director.
Oh,
His
I'm sorry.
Brother.
Yes,
it plays the stunt double for the Fox.
I thought you were talking about the guy from Gilmore Girls that is in that movie.
No,
because he was
they're brothers, though. Did you know that? The director
know that.
Yes, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy is brothers with Kirk from Gilmore Girls.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No wonder he brought him in then. I fucking love Kirk.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
The best.
Random side plot here.
I mean, Amy loved him so much that he goes through 5 different characters before he lands on Kirk. But yeah, so that's something great about Quentin. Like Crystal said, we did not know we needed a movie with Leo and Brad until it was fucking given to us. And these two have such amazing chemistry. I will say Leo's character is Rick Dalton. He is a diva whiny actor. But
totally.
He fucking puts in the work. He actually works to memorize his lines. He actually wants to be a good actor.
He drinks copious amounts of alcohol in his pool. He's memorizing his lines.
Yeah, but at least he still puts in the work and he enjoys it versus just being oh, I should just be given all this because of my experience and how much I've done.
Yeah.
So I really loved that about his character. And then Cliff was such a good cheerleader towards Rick. He'd been his stunt double forever. They became friends, and he was always cheering him on. And he always seemed happy about his situation, even though he fucking lived up in Van Nuys in a trailer off the side of a drive-through.
Yeah. I that was my first line that I put down in my notes was Cliff carries his load.
He does.
That's I think that's what they must have said, but
At the
true.
beginning.
It's true. He basically takes care of him. It takes care of him. It's he drives him around because Rick got too many DUIs. He's clearly he's clearly a functioning alcoholic.
Yes.
Yeah, he makes sure he gets to set on time. He makes sure he gets picked up on time. He takes him places and just, And my favorite is that he what did I put here? Cliff is Rick's like comforter. He talks him down when he's going crazy. He boosts his like ego when he needs it. You're Rick fucking Dalton. And, so yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like in those moments, like when we have the voiceover from Cliff going, that's a fucking lie, like his car isn't in the shop. He's had too many DUIs.
Yeah.
He says it in a way where he's like not bad-mouthing his friend. He's just like keeping
Telling
it real.
the truth. Yeah, that's literally my next line on here was that he tells him the truth all the time. He doesn't bullshit him and he doesn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, and I don't feel like he resents Rick either. Especially like when this is like a little bit later, but when he asks Rick like, "Hey, can you get me on the set to do stunts?" And then it shows us the flashback where Cliff got himself in trouble, and he's like,
Bruce Lee.
he's like, I deserved that. He's like, that's totally fair. Like, he's very honest about like who he is and all that. And I also love how Rick has his back when he's talking to Kurt Russell about bringing him on a set, and he's like, he killed his wife, and Rick's like, I mean.
She kind of deserved it. That's not what he said, but like that flashback was so funny. Though.
Yeah, but like he doesn't like fully admit it. And he's like, yeah, maybe he did do it, but like he's my friend and he's a good worker. Like, so I really love like these two. I feel like they don't talk shit about each other. Like they're very honest with each other.
I feel like
not resentful either, because Rick pays Cliff really well.
That's what I was gonna bring up is that like I feel like, especially in the industry, the entertainment industry, right? There can be a lot of jealousy, but because Cliff's a stunt double and what's his face is an actor, they don't seem to like be jealous of each other's happiness or how far they've gotten in their career or not gotten in their career. They help each other out when they can, and they are genuinely happy for each other when they get gigs and stuff. So
yeah, and like obviously I don't think Rick pays Cliff like a ton of money because he's still living in his trailer. No. But that could also be like semi a choice too, because like he is like a stunt actor and he wants to like save whatever money he needs for like his career. I don't know.
Or maybe he's just spending it all on his dog. That's kind of what I thought. Like all those
him and
fancy
his
dog suits.
Dog are so cute.
They are so cute.
I was obsessed. That scene with him packed it in for me, and I was like, this is Brad's movie.
Yeah.
Except then when Leo goes and has his temper tantrum in his trailer.
That is the best scene ever.
Oh my God, I was obsessed. It's amazing.
He's so funny because it's when Quentin got the writer-director award at the Golden Globes. I don't remember what it was exactly. But he like thanked Brad and Leo, and he's like, Leo, that trailer scene, that was all you, man. So I was like, I could just imagine him. I don't know if he improv'd it or what, but I could just imagine him in there like, you couldn't have just stopped at 3 out of 5 fucking gin and tonic or whatever it was,
Yeah. Like, and
so
what did he say? He was gonna like shoot himself in the head if he didn't get his lines right. He's like, you're gonna
no. Well, yeah. He's like, you better stop drinking, or I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna shoot you in the face. And then he like takes the swig of his thing and then he throws it outside. Fuck, like. You piece of shit. He's like talking to himself in the mirror. It's so funny in that movie.
I know. I was watching an interview on YouTube, and Leo was saying how Quentin made him watch all these fucking Westerns.
No, like the spaghetti Westerns?
He had to watch so many Westerns.
Or just the 70s Westerns. Probably both, right?
Both. Yeah. From that era to understand like who those characters were. And obviously like, Leo's professional and he likes his art. He'll do it. But you could tell he was just like, I had to watch so many. And then whenever he tried to talk, Quentin would get too excited and cut him off. And Leo's just like, this is just who Quentin is.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like when he drops him off to set and, he's obviously nervous about his guest star shoot. And that's when Cliff tells him, he's like, don't you forget, you're Rick fucking Dalton.
Yeah. I think it's really cute that Rick is so insecure, because, he's had his like ups and downs, but like clearly this is a downward spiral for him. And he's like so insecure. And then he befriends that little girl on set. And then the little girl, like after that scene, she's like, that was the best acting I've ever seen in my life. And he starts crying.
That close up on him was fucking everything.
So cute. Oh my God. Oh God, I loved that scene so much.
I really loved all the scenes we got to see of Rick acting. Like, they were just amazing. I know some people are like, why is this in the movie? Which is why I always like tell people before they watch it. I was like, this is also like a love letter to Hollywood. So there's a lot of like very Quentin-esque stuff in there. So you've been warned. So like, you can hate the movie, but like, be aware that this is what the movie is.
What's funny is I haven't met anybody that hated it, but I fucking love it. And I love it because you're in the scene and you don't even realize that like you're seeing it through the lens of the director or whatever, right? And then when he's all in it and he goes, line, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh, we're like, okay, this isn't like the movie. This is like him shooting
a scene on set.
His scene, yeah. So I like it. I enjoy that kind of stuff though.
No, I definitely had some haters on Facebook who had their opinions.
Oh, God.
You know, go for it. But I'm like, I get it, but this is what the movie is. Like, you can't change it. The movie's been made.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I will admit, sometimes I wish Quentin could edit it down a little more on certain movies. Some scenes where I'm like, you don't really need that. But at the same time, that's art, and that's what he likes.
That's what he loves, yeah.
Makes him.
What do you have next on your notes?
I have that Brad, Foxy. Look, I have Brad and then I have Rick in the same line. So like, well, when Cliff like drops him off at set and then he goes out to the ranch with that like wannabe hooker almost. It's not what she is, but like
she's a cultist. Or not a cultist. Yeah, it's a cult.
Well, she's a hippie. You know, whatever. I do find it really funny. I've never like. I have no problem with hippies, right? No problem at all.
Fucking hippies.
But I love how much Rick hates hippies. Fucking hippies, you know? And like, and Brad is almost, honestly, like, you could tell he's kind of drawn to it, and he probably would be a hippie, like, if he didn't have Rick as his friend. So it's really funny to see when he gets all pissy about hippies and stuff. Because he, like, obviously goes out to that ranch and doesn't feel awkward around the hippies. He's into that hippie girl, so...
True, but I also think he just thought she was like hot.
But just in general, he like buys acid cigarettes and stuff. Like I feel like he would be a hippie if he wasn't so old, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like it's like it missed his generation, but I mean, he's living in a trailer, and you know, like he might as well be a hippie. It's just,
yeah, he has like a more free, laid back sort of lifestyle.
Yeah, I loved. That was who was in this movie? Dakota Fanning.
So when I first saw it, I was like, why does she look familiar? And I didn't see Dakota Fanning at all. And it wasn't until the second viewing when I saw her name come up in the credits, I was like, she's in this movie? And then when she popped up, I was like, holy fuck. When I first saw this, I didn't think it was her.
I realized it was her right away because I follow her on Instagram, so I see her all the time. She is so good at being creepy in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, did she murder that guy back there? Like before you get to see him, I'm like, did she fucking murder that guy? You're like, what is happening?
Yeah, she did such a good job. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't even recognize her, which I thought was really great. Yeah. All the actresses they picked to play the cultist of what's his name? Manson.
Lena Dunham.
Oh yeah, I knew. I saw her from the beginning.
I was like, what the fuck? Why is she in here?
Fun fact then, you might not know this. Then what's her name from Kill Bill? Uma Thurman. Mm-hmm. Her daughter has a small role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Who is she?
So you know the four that come to the house to murder Sharon.
Yeah,
and she's the one in the back seat, and she's like, I forgot my knife in the car, and she drives off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's actually in I think it's the 4th season of Stranger Things.
Oh, I don't watch Stranger Things.
Yeah,
so.
She's a really good actress. But I thought it was cute that Quentin's like, I like your mom. Come be in my movie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this movie, you know, Rick goes off to Italy. Mm-hmm. Cliff goes with him.
Yeah, he's a stunt man.
Yeah, to make the spaghetti westerns. And I just, you know, they seem like a really good friendship throughout the whole first half of the movie, but like certain things in this one kind of bother me. Like when they fly back, what's his face flies in coach.
Yeah.
And he flies first class. I would never do that to my best friend.
Yeah.
If I was like a rich bitch, I would be fucking paying for them to sit next to me in first class, no matter what.
That does stick out like a sore thumb. You're right.
Yeah. And then when they're, you know, he's like, hey, when we get back, you know, I can't really afford to pay you anymore. I have this wife I got to take care of. So he's basically firing him, but like still wants to be friends with him, sort of. But at the same time, they're having their like last night get blind drunk, which, by the way, totally accurate for dudes. Not gonna lie at all.
Even though they weren't spending any time together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? So they're having this blind drunk thing where like you know, it's supposed to be their last hurrah kind of a thing. They don't spend any time together because what's-his-face walks his dog with his acid cigarette. And then the other guy, Rick, goes into the pool with his like thing of margaritas. And
he loves his fruity drinks so much.
Yeah, and his like handheld radio or whatever it is. Which, by the way, I totally expected him to get electrocuted, but I think you have to be in a smaller body of water or something.
Yeah.
Because I was for sure like, he's going to get electrocuted if that thing falls in.
Well, I don't think it was electrical. I think it was battery operated, which is why it should be fine.
Oh. Yeah. So anyways, so like their last night, they're not even hanging out except when they go to the restaurant beforehand.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just funny. And then even when they're like at the airport before this, I'm like skipping around a lot. Sorry. But this is all the things that like bothered me kind of towards the end about their friendship. At the airport, Cliff just has like all of their bags. Like he's their bitch. And then he's like like I understand the driving them part because obviously what's his face is too many DUIs. But the like carrying all the bags and stuff. And like, it just kind of seemed like their errand boy. Like you're supposed to be his best friend, but you know, whatever.
I mean, that's why when I thought about it, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Frodo and Sam.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like we're like at the part to rate them yet, but I would not rate this as my like highest friendship. I would kind of rate it more in the mid-range, like a 6 kind of thing. Because I do feel like in a lot of instances, Rick has him there to keep his ego up, you know, and keep him going. And their friendship is one based out of work and...
It seems like
I don't know.
Cliff is very aware of that and he's okay with it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad necessarily, but like for me, I wouldn't be satisfied with that kind of a friendship. They seem to be, you know, and maybe that's how a lot of friendships were in Hollywood back then. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you definitely have a strong point there. But I do appreciate that like Cliff is totally okay with it. And so at least like he's aware of the situation and like we discussed, like he's not bitter about it. And it's just kind of like, this is how it is. He's like grateful and appreciates the situation.
It almost reminds me, if I could, every fucking time my phone goes off.
She's so popular every time we do a podcast.
If I could compare it, it would be equivalent in my eyes to when you see a celebrity nowadays. And they have their not so rich friends that are kind of like in their entourage and kind of like always there in their life. And you're like, were those people there before you were famous? Were they not? Because some are definitely not, right? You could tell they're just like latching on to be their best friend because that person's famous and rich or whatever. It almost feels like something like that.
I actually equate it to like when actors have assistants. Because there's like these 2 actresses, but they both have assistants. And they like... when it's ever their birthday or something, or they take them when they go traveling and they say how this person is their best friend. And it's like, yes, but this person's also like your assistant. So you do spend 24/7 with them. So they become your friend, but this person's also like working for you. So I feel like it's very weird.
Yes, I agree.
Both these 2 actresses that I follow, like their assistants travel with them wherever they go. So they get to like explore all these cool countries with them and they get to like eat like them, but they're still like filming for them wherever they're at, taking their photos. They're making sure they're getting checked in the hotel. They're taking care of all the traveling things. So it's just, it's a little weird.
It is weird. I don't know. It's just like a fine line, I guess, between a friendship and a working friendship, you'd say. I feel like this is more of a working friendship.
Yeah, it's definitely a working friendship. And I think there's definitely nothing wrong for your assistant to like be considered one of your best friends. And I think it helps to like make sure you guys have that healthy relationship because whoever you work with, like you want to have good camaraderie and chemistry and like to have a positive experience. But yeah, it definitely comes down to being a work friendship at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like Rick does, he's like, we're pretty much going to part ways since I can't pay you anymore. So I don't necessarily see the 2 ever hanging out after this. Well, they might actually because of like the life or death situation they experienced together. But I feel like if Rick saw Cliff in person, he would like give him a hug and like love him and treat him like a brother and like buy him a drink and dinner and spend money on him. So I do think that even though Rick doesn't, you know, flush out as much money as he definitely could, I still think he sees Cliff as like his brother.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I will say though that the one thing I was like really proud of at the end was how Cliff, when they attack, you know, Cliff, obviously he's like, I mean, he's a stunt guy. So I was like, fuck yeah, fight. Hell yeah.
He knows how to kick ass.
But also like the wife comes out and he like basically make sure the wife doesn't die. Like, I mean, if I had to, between him and his dog, like they protected Rick's wife, which is, I feel like, a pretty good friendship.
Well, yeah, and
there,
I think like his dog was so well trained that he wasn't concerned. Like he knew his dog was a fucking badass, and like Tex wouldn't hurt him because the dog would hurt him before.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, I got my sidekick. He's gonna take care of you. Now I'm gonna fuck up this one because you're not gonna mess with like my buddy's wife, because that's just like it's not gonna happen.
And because we're at like the climax of this, I just have to state this because for some reason it bothers me. The girl that gets the shit kicked out of her inside the house and then just like, pops up, has a gun in her hand and is screaming bloody murder and like goes outside and just starts screaming, falls in the pool and keeps screaming. It's a little too much for me. It's a little too dramatic for me. It's fun. It's funny because what's his face gets all freaked out. He falls in the pool and then he gets out and he gets the flamethrower. But at the same time, I'm like, that's just so not accurate to life. So it's really hard for me to love it and hate it all at the same time.
Well,
I appreciate it.
I think why Quentin did it was for that reason, was because he wanted to make fun of these people who thought it was cool to go out and murder people.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like a satire. Like the whole scene, I feel like is very much of a satire to be like, fuck the bad guys, here's the good guys winning, and make it very extreme, and also kind of make fun of like violence at the same time too.
Yeah. I just much more enjoyed it in the beginning when Cliff is kicking the shit out of them, because it's just a little more realistic. But then when she like jumps up and is like just screaming and screaming and screaming and then goes outside and continues screaming, it's just like it's a little overkill for me. But that's just me.
That's totally fair.
But Leo's reaction alone was like totally worth it. And then when he gets the flamethrower, I was like, and I burn her ass to a crisp,
Well, and I love that
so
because
funny.
like he's clearly not a fighter, but he's like, he has one thing that he knows how to do.
Yes. I learned how to use this. I got to go get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Great. And yeah, like you said, it's probably like a 6 or a 7. I think that the biggest thing that stands out in this relationship for me is that like they're both aware of like how they treat each other. They're both honest with each other, and they're both supportive, and they're not like resentful, and they're aware of what the relationship is. And when it kind of like when they're going to part ways because he can't pay Cliff anymore, Cliff is like totally fine with it. It is what it is. They're going to like have their celebratory night and move on from it. And so I think that is really cool, because it definitely started out as a work transaction and they created sort of a friendship out of that. And Rick obviously liked having Cliff around because even though he wasn't getting stunt jobs, he still paid him to like do stuff around the house. And he probably also did that, like you said, to keep him around because like it boosted up his confidence. I think Cliff also saw that like Rick wanted to keep him around. He saw him as like as being his good stunt guy, and like they got along, and he still wanted to keep his company. So there was still like some mutual camaraderie there. And I feel like if you're in a friendship where it is work-based and someone is your like superior, make sure that you're being treated well, you're being respected, and if there are things that you have an issue with, either then decide for yourself, like, should I stay in this like friendship? Like, is it worth my time? And if it's not, then like you should definitely walk away from it, because I think in any like industry that you're in, regardless if it's film or your doctor or I don't know, whatever have you, like your job, your self-respect is not worth that job. Like make sure that you're taken care of first.
Yeah, as you were saying all those things, I was thinking if I had to sum up their friendship in one word, or not even in one word, just like in a thought, it would be that it is very much a friendship based out of loneliness, right? They're both aged out of their careers, really. They're lonely. They don't have family and stuff, obviously not there anyways. And so like finding the little jobs around the house to keep Brad Pitt's character around is like what Leo's character does. Like
it's difficult saying their character names.
Yeah.
They sound the same.
I can't get you stunt work, but here I'll find things for you to do around the house that we can keep paying you. That way I'm not alone and you're not alone either, kind of a thing. That's kind of what the general vibe I got towards the end of it.
Which is like sad and sweet at the same time.
Yeah, it is. Because I mean, hey, nobody wants to be lonely, right? And they're they're both very similar in the place they are in their life as far as their career goes. The one like really cute thing at the end I thought was when Cliff gets stabbed. You know, everything after everybody's dead, the ambulance comes and, you know, Leo is like telling them the general story of how the hippies came and, you know,
goddamn
hippies in their clunker car and stuff. And they're putting Cliff in the ambulance, and Rick is like all insistent, I'm going to come with you. You know, I'll follow you. I'll be there. And Cliff is so cute. He's like, no, just come see me tomorrow. Like, go lay with your sexy wife and blah, blah. And it's cool. I mean, remember, he smoked an acid cigarette, so he was pretty, like, out of it anyways. But,
I think that saved his life, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. But, like, it was just cute because he's like, oh, you know, that's a good friend right there, right? He wants to go to the hospital with you. But he's like, no, it's cool, man. Like, I love you enough. You can stay here.
Yeah, that was definitely like a really sweet moment. And Rick definitely had Cliff's back. So
yeah,
I appreciate that. That's why I think that perhaps maybe they might still hang out after this because they did have a life or death experience together. But I still think it might be rare. But like I said, I think that if Rick saw Cliff out in public, he would like love him and hug him and they'd have drinks and it'd be great. And he'd still like, he wouldn't think he was too cool for him.
Yeah, I feel like in that moment, outside of the ambulance, or as he's getting put in the ambulance, it made me think that like the friendship, you know, it wasn't all one-sided. That Rick like really did care for him, because you know the whole movie, it's really Cliff always coming to Rick and taking care of him and being his errand boy, being his assistant. So like for him to volunteer to like go be at the hospital for him, you know, it's like, oh, that's cute. I guess it's not as one-sided as it kind of seemed, you know, like he actually does also clearly care for him a lot more than just as an assistant. So,
and I think there's a lot of trust there too, because like Rick is pretty famous, and so Cliff saw a lot of like his dirty laundry, and that's kind of scary knowing that like someone could expose you and say how you really are, and he never seemed to have that concern. Like they both really trusted each other.
Yeah, he wasn't going around being like, yeah, he's got all these DUIs, that's why I'm driving him around. It wasn't, he never was like spewing that kind of crap. So,
yeah.
Or being like, yeah, he goes home every night and has a pitcher of margaritas, which is totally what would happen. But, you know, he didn't say anything like that. So,
but yeah, these guys, I loved them in the movie. Super cute friendship, definitely have their issues. So I agree with Crystal, definitely rated on a 5 to 6. But it was a very like straightforward friendship. I think every situation was really well earned. And I liked that it was like clear cut and I saw it for what it was. And that they were just both like very,
oh my God,
like honest and accepting of each other in the friendship, which I think was healthy because there was no resentment and all that. And that's why I was saying that like if you are in a situation like that, you should definitely step out of it because it's not fair to you or the other person. And if there's room to have a conversation, have it. But otherwise, like, make sure you're putting yourself first.
Yeah. If I had to, like, sum up this friendship, I would say it's very accurate to a male friendship, right? Like, very clear-cut, straightforward. They don't bullshit each other. They don't get emotional with each other. They're friends, not necessarily out of necessity, but kind of out of necessity, you know? I think it was just a very nice homage to just like how easy a male friendship is compared to a woman friendship.
Which is fair though, because men are also taught to not be emotional, which is also unfair. Like Rick even tells himself, don't cry like a girl at one point. And so it's like I would say that guys tend to have an easier friendship because they're told to not be emotional versus girls are like, we are very emotional and I don't know, like the media just expresses our friendship in like a different way. And so I think it's like, at the end of the day, try to not have as many fucks and have more respect for yourself. And that can create less drama.
Amen. Less fucks given. That's always my philosophy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good homage to like friendships of that era, like our parents' era, you know, like did they ever really get emotional with their friends? Did they ever have the issues that kids these days have as far as social media and that kind of shit? No, they just fucking hung out and got drunk and smoked some weed or whatever. Acid dick cigarettes apparently were a thing maybe. And just had a great old fucking time.
Yeah, my mom told me about like some of the like dramas that she had with her friends, but they usually got over it pretty fast. I think that we're just like now, like things are able to be accelerated faster because of social media, and then it's easier to cyberbully people more quickly. And then I think that social media can be positive and negative. It can connect people in a really positive way and create authentic moments. But then there's the other flip side where there's like the whole thing of comparison and, you know.
It creates a lot of jealousy, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think it's honestly how you use the platform. So
Yeah.
definitely curate who you follow on social media. Like if your social media feed makes you sad, then you should probably unfollow all the people that make you feel like shitty. And
Absolutely.
yeah, like you should just follow people that inspire you and make you feel good. And that way you
Definitely.
can get rid of all that jealousy stuff.
Yeah, I've learned to just honestly, I originally only used social media to connect with my family because I don't live near my family, you know? But I have since like really pulled away from Facebook because honestly, it just feels like people are trying to sell me shit on Facebook now all the time.
Facebook. I hate it.
So I really just go on Instagram. I try and just only look at the feeds that inspire me, make me happy, you know, I don't know, just not the negative stuff, not the stuff that I feel like is going to piss me off or too political or too this or too that, you know. I go on it for fun when I feel like it and to just, you know, be connected to the people I don't see every day.
Yeah, because I think that technology is a good way to share information and bring people together. So try and find a way to make it a positive experience for you. Because like recently, I got reconnected with this girl that I knew from high school, and she now lives in the Midwest, and we haven't spoken since we were like 17. But she became a personal trainer and a dietitian, and now she's like helping me with my fitness and mental journey. And so it's really cool that social media gave us that opportunity to reconnect. And so I think that's where some of the like friendships can be grown out of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you just have like positive friends that inspire you versus the ones that just like scroll through your feed and are like, oh, you did that without me? Fuck, I'm never going to post anything ever again if you're just going to be pissed every time I post something because you weren't there.
Exactly. I think
Oh
I
my
actually posted a few things on our Instagram today about like toxic friendship and like just to walk away from it and do what's best for you sort of a thing. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Don't be jealous of your friends, people. Be happy for them.
yeah, make sure you put time into yourself first, because if you're happy with yourself, then you can put time into your friendships, and you also won't feel like empty about things that are happening that don't involve you or about what their achievements are, because if you focus on yourself, then you're not worrying about other people.
That's true. There's like so, you know, it's the end of February. I know this isn't going to come out in February, but this is when we're recording it. So we're like 2 full months, basically, almost 2 full months into 2020. And I had all of these great self goals for me this year. And I'm killing it. I'm just saying, 2 months in, I'm fucking killing it.
She's doing great.
I'm doing great. I am ahead of schedule on my monthly book reading and all.
Yes.
And we've done like 3 episodes already for the new season, and we're just killing it. I'm fucking exhausted, but I'm killing it.
It's fine.
But I feel last year I really put emphasis. One of my resolutions was to spend more time with my friends, make more time for them, which I felt like I did pretty good. I was really killing it with the coffee dates and stuff. But this year I am trying to focus a little more on self-care and a little more on me getting the shit done that I want to get done. And then so far by doing those things, because I'm taking better care of myself, I feel like I'm killing it in life, and I go forward and I'm supporting my friends more. Even though I don't necessarily see them as much, I feel like I am emotionally supporting them more and not focusing on the negative as much. And so, you know, I don't know if that made sense, but yeah.
No, it totally does. Because like when you
have your
goals,
shit together.
Yeah, when you set goals and you achieve them, that's what builds self-confidence. And then you don't feel lacking. And then when your friends have stuff going on for them, you're way more supportive, because usually like jealousies tend to come from insecurities, and like basically everything that we project onto other people has to do with us. It's what's going on with us and us feeling a certain way about ourselves. So if you take care of yourself first, if you set goals and you work towards them, you're going to feel great. And then you're just going to be fucking happy for everyone else.
Yeah. I'm I'm going to plug an app here that I'm fucking in love with, the Habit app. Have you?
No, what is it?
Oh my God, it's this free app.
This is not an
show
ad,
you.
by the way, guys.
It's a free app.
We're not
this
that
is not
cool
an ad
yet, but
I learned about this from my aunts who are super health freaks. So this is how I'm killing my like goals this year. You just like put in what you want.
Oh my
to,
God,
like, achieve
I'm going to
each
start
day.
using this now. You're going to show me this after
It's
the
amazing.
podcast.
So I learned, here's a great one. I learned that flossing is like really great for if you don't floss, apparently it's like the one thing that has been linked to heart disease.
What?
So I started flossing and I check it off every day.
That's amazing.
I check off my workouts if I drink enough water. One of my things was that I need to drink tea every day because I'm trying to be healthier and I feel like tea is healthy. So yeah, I like come in here. I do reading every day. I'm starting intermittent fasting. So basically I'm killing it and it'll give you like a rating over here of how good you're doing.
And there's a lot of pretty colors on this app.
Yeah,
guys.
and you
That's
can
fulfilling.
and you can pick the color you want, and yeah, so it's pretty great.
So it's called Habit, Habit.
Yeah, and it's free, and it's a great app if you want to set little goals for yourself. And I'm just kind of obsessed right now, so I've been telling everybody about it.
And like I said, guys, not a sponsorship, but if Habit, came across this and they wanted to sponsor us, we would not say no.
I know I should like screenshot my Habit app and be like, I'm killing it, bitches.
Oh, we're gonna share this.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Definitely excited. This is our 3rd episode of season 2 so far. I can't believe we're already into a season 2 of this podcast.
I know.
I remember when I was like up late before bed making notes and trying to think of like a podcast I could do. And then I was like, I want to do something with Crystal. And I was like, I turned to Carmichael and I was like, what if we just talk about like movies we love? And he's like, well, what if you do it about friendships so that it has more of a point of view? And I was like, oh, it's genius. So
he was the one that came up with it.
yeah, it was really just, I was like, I just want us to talk about movies because you and I love.
That's what we like.
Yeah, we love cinema and television. And then he kind of helped put the spin on it. But yeah, it's kind of exciting now that it's come to fruition and we're already in season freaking 2.
I know. And I have friends that have told me that they really enjoy it. So that's exciting, right?
Speaking of, we say this in our end card, but I'm just going to like plug ourselves and do a little groveling. If you guys could please leave us a review on iTunes, even if you hate us, just let us know. It helps us grow in the iTunes algorithm, and we also just like want to hear what you guys think about it.
And give us some episode suggestions because we have to plan season 3 eventually.
Yeah, like I've already gotten a couple suggestions from some people who listen, and I'm taking note of them. So definitely shoot us an email or tell us on the socials what you think.
Yeah.
All right. I have to go to the bathroom, so we're gonna end this now. Bye, guys.
Bye.
She's my friend because we know what it's like for people to be jealous of us.
It's so nice when you can sit with someone and not have to talk. You and I are a team. Nothing is more important than our friendship. Thank you for listening to the Best Friends Playbook podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
You can also email us episode suggestions at bestfriendsplaybook@gmail.com. And if you could please leave us a review on iTunes, it helps us greatly to grow our podcast.